Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Riot Podcast. See what I did there?
I saw that.
When I did Riot Podcast.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Did you like it?
I did.
Riot Podcast?
Yeah, that's good.
That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. Boop. Post. Boop. What's up, Stephen Miller? You know that guy's jacked right now.
Steven's a heck of an umpire.
Liar. There's no such thing.
No, he's good. He's a guy.
No such thing.
He's good. Well, he's as good as umpires can be.
So terrible?
No, he's not terrible. He
You said as good as they could be. So terrible.
I mean, he lies when he's out there because they all do. They're all
They do.
liars.
All right, I tweeted that and shared it if you want to go fire away. If you're ready. All right. We had no podcast yesterday, obviously, because I was not here. But you ready for a little Riot Podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Paul, you ready? All right. Share. Did you share?
Yeah, I'm doing
All right, here we go.
This is the Riot Podcast with Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio. One is an athlete, the other an athletic supporter. Follow the guys on Twitter at Matt Moscona and at rterrio7. Here's Matt and Ryan.
Okay, let's get a Riot Podcast. He's Ryan. I'm Matt. Glad that you're hanging out with us here. Normally live on Tuesdays at noon Central Time, but I was at the beach, brah. So we're doing it on Wednesday today. How was your time while I was away?
My time was good. My time was spent at the ballpark. I missed you.
I missed you.
Followed you via Facebook story.
Yeah.
Your wife, Erica, who's just a great cameraman, by the way. She loves
Camera woman.
loves to take pictures.
She does. Oh, man, she's a picture taker.
Yeah,
there is no question.
One of the pictures really pissed me off. You were sitting there in a chair, smoking a stogie.
Yep, that happened.
With brother-in-law, looked like.
Yep.
And
Jeff from Ascension Fence and Deck, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And I was at Traction in the midst of like the 5th softball game.
Yeah.
Sweating my ass off.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Smoking cigars on the beach. And Jeff said, hey, send a picture to Terrio of us sitting here smoking cigars.
Let's
I was
see
like,
if we
that's
can
a
piss
good
Terrio
idea.
off.
So I just sent the picture. And your reply was?
I can tell you what it is. You want me to tell you?
I think it was a-hole.
Yeah,
A-holes. Yeah, that was it. But you spelled it out.
Mm-hmm.
A-holes.
I did.
And then I gave you the kissy face emoji.
Because I really meant it. Like, I really meant it.
In that moment, you hated us?
I did.
You did?
Both of you guys.
So,
you looked so happy.
Yeah, it was really nice. I mean, went to Destin. You had some time away, which was nice. The weather was perfect. You go in late May, it's more like upper 80s instead of like when you go in July, it's 100. So the weather was nice, no rain. Family had a good time. Drew had a good time. A few days away. Recharged the batteries a bit. So it's a good thing. I got some sun.
You got some nice
color.
color.
It's got some color here. It was really such a good time. So I enjoyed that. If everyone watching right now on Facebook would hit the share button, that's a tremendous help to us as well. So I had some time away, and you, meanwhile, were at the 5 softball games on Saturday.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. 6:45 a.m. to 11:40 p.m.
So I love when I come back from vacation. Here's one way that I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in life, because usually you leave, you go for vacation, you recharge the batteries all. If when you come back from vacation, you think to yourself when you wake up on the day you're going back to work, you go, back to work. You know that? Me, I'm like, I cannot wait.
Yeah, let's go.
Like, since I've been gone, regional projections were announced, which we're going to talk about. Will Wade spoke for the first time in 3 months. Emmett Williams is coming back. Kelvin Joseph is coming back. Joe Brady was off the bench this morning. New LSU passing game coordinator. Man, I mean, there's like storylines about the Pelicans today are meeting with Anthony Davis in LA. I mean, there's so much to talk about. I'm just like, I just want to get in. It's like when you're hungry and you walk into a restaurant, it's a buffet, and you with your parents, like your eyes are bigger than your mouth, and you put 100 things on your plate. That's how I feel right now.
Yep.
Like I want all of it. Give me the lasagna. Give me the meatballs. Give me a ribeye. Give me some
shrimp,
some chicken lo mein. Give me all of it. Shrimp.
Yep. What's your favorite buffet?
You know, right off the top of my head, I'd probably go Great Wall, because I ate a gang of Great Wall when I was in college and shortly thereafter. It was like $7, and I'd always eat like 3 plates, and I'd always get a Coke too. And I don't really drink Coke, but I liked having that with my Great Wall.
Did you do
buffet.
dessert?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, the dessert buffet always kind of stinks.
Yeah,
They have ice cream at every one of them.
Oh, you know what? I probably did. I probably did soft serve
Yep.
with M&Ms on it. If I had to guess, that's probably where I went. And I bet you I did.
I'm a Ryan's Family Steakhouse guy.
Okay.
I do like Golden Corral. Comes strong.
I don't think I've been.
Golden Corral's good.
Okay.
Yeah, good breakfast at Golden Corral.
Oh, that's good to know. I love breakfast.
Is Piccadilly a buffet?
No.
Yeah, Ryan's Family Steakhouse. I'm that guy. I love it.
Well, this isn't really, no, that's not a buffet. I was going to say there's one on Corporate in Baton Rouge. Corporate, there's one on Seagan. What's the name of it? They do sandwiches, deli.
Jason's Deli.
Jason's Deli.
Yeah.
That's it. But they have a salad bar. And then you can also go back and get soft-served ice cream at the end of your meal if you want. That's really good. And they do the swirl one, the chocolate vanilla swirl one. You can get chocolate, vanilla, or swirl.
It's magical the way they do that.
Oh, it's so good.
It just all goes in together.
It is so good. So, all right, LSU baseball regional has been announced. The return of the Sea Wolves. Stony Brook's coming in. Arizona State, the 2 seed, and then the 3 seed, you got Southern Miss. Baseball America listed their toughest and easiest regionals. The Baton Rouge Regional, the toughest regional in this field. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that Arizona State, although they're down from years in the past, has 2 hitters, like guys that can really, really bang. They got 2 guys with 20-plus homers. Pitching staff is just okay, but you got some guys that can really hit. I think those numbers are skewed a little bit because the ball flies out there in Tempe. But you've got some guys that can swing the bat there. Southern Miss, this is going to be a hungry team. This is a good team, man. And they've actually built a really strong recruiting class going into next year. That's a program on the rise. And then, Stony Brook with the confidence that they're probably going to have when they come in here. I mean, look, these guys have come down to Baton Rouge and done the impossible before. Do you
think that really matters? Because none of these players were on that team.
It doesn't, but it gives the coaching staff some ammo.
That's been 7 years.
But it gives them some ammo.
Like the freshmen on this Stony Brook team were 11 years old, and I don't even know if any of them are from Stony Brook that have any recollection of that team doing. Now the coach is the same.
It gives
Matt
them
Sink is the same. Sink is the same coach.
It gives him some ammo, gives him some video, it gives him some talking points to go in and say, hey, man, this has been done. This is the path, and this is what we did in order for this to happen. And, yeah, man, it gives you a little edge when you know you've had success somewhere before, as opposed to going and get your teeth kicked in every year at a regional.
Okay, I'm with you on there. The other part of it, though, is if you remember that Stony Brook team in 2012, that team had more players drafted from it than the LSU team did in 2012. That wasn't a crappy team. That was a veteran team that also had dudes that were taken in the top 10 rounds of the draft. I mean,
yeah, no, they had some guys.
That was a good team. I mean, LSU had their rotation was Gosman, Eads, Nola. Nola was a freshman. Eads was a good arm, bit erratic at times, but that was also a team that had, Mason Katz playing center field, right? Say that out loud.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He can hit.
He could hit.
Yeah.
But Mason Katz was playing center field on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They were still recovering and coming back from 2011 where they missed postseason. In 2012, because they had good pitching, accelerated that. And then 13, when Bregman came in as a freshman, then they were back in Omaha and they were pretty awesome.
Right.
Anyway, what I am curious, your thoughts. What about how Maneri and Dunn set up pitching for this regional?
So I think we open with Stony Brook, correct? Okay. I would say of the 3 teams, they're probably the weakest. And it's not necessarily pitching off, but I think Eric Walker goes game 1. And then you lay the hammer down in game 2.
With who?
Cole Henry.
Okay, this is where I think I'm going to disagree with you. And I agree on Walker, and I'll get to why in a second as well. But I think, so obviously in game 2, it's the most, I hesitate to say the most important game, but if it's the winner's bracket game, it's the marble game, then someone has to come back and beat you twice. If you lose your first game, then that's to save your season. I want my best pitcher going in game 2.
Mm-hmm.
In the last month, Landon Marceau's ERA is less than 2. I don't think there's any question. In the last month, he has been LSU's best pitcher. I want Landon Marceau going game 2 of this regional, not Cole Henry. If Henry had never missed any time, then it's not even a question. I mean, he was so dominant. But we've seen him one time in a month, And in that one time in the SEC tournament, he went a couple of innings and gave up 5 runs.
He did, but a lot of that was kind of bad luck. I actually thought he threw the ball well.
I agree with you that he threw the ball well.
And did well. But to your point, dominant because Henry had missed time. If Henry's healthy and feeling good and he's commanding the strike zone, I think he's your guy right there. But look, I don't disagree.
Not.
I mean, Marceau.
That's the point. He's not.
Well, I mean,
he has missed a month.
No, he did. But rewind to the Marceau that showed up before that. I mean, yes, he's been throwing the ball well now. I just, for me, it's Cole Henry. But I'm with you. I don't know that you go wrong either way. I mean, Marceau's been throwing the ball well. I mean, it sets you up. The Eric Walker game 1, I think, is extremely important. It wouldn't surprise me though to see Henry announced as a game 1 starter. Marceau game 2.
I think Marceau has to go game 2. The bigger question for me is, what do you do games 1 and 3? And I'm with you on Walker game 1, and here's my theory, and I'd like your thoughts on this. So Arizona State, as you just mentioned, led the country in home runs. Henry is a guy that will miss bats. Walker is a pitch-to-contact guy. And when Walker misses with 86, it goes a long way. And balls at the box in June tend to fly out of the yard. I think Eric Walker, if he has an off day against Arizona State, could get shelled.
It could be ugly quick, yeah.
Cole Henry has a better chance of maybe having the outing he did against Florida where he only went 5, but he struck out 12. He recorded 15 outs, and 12 of them were strikeouts, and LSU offensively had scored double digits, and so it was over at that point. I think, what do you like? Does that make sense in having Henry for a potential Arizona State matchup in Game 3?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely look at the offenses of these teams and figure out kind of which one's going to be the most potent. But remember, ASU's got to win in order to get to that point as well. So I'm not sure that you set up your rotation planning for that because who knows what's going to happen. ASU's pitching staff is not good, and that's kind of why they're in the situation they're in. The guys can really swing the bats, but this stadium, although does play big in June for us, it is not even close to the way the ball flies in Arizona. I mean, any time of the year, that's where hitters go to get paid. The altitude and the thin air. I mean, the ball jumps. It's very similar to Colorado. So I don't think those guys are going to have, the same production. Look, Landon Marceau misses bats too. I mean, Marceau and Henry's stuff is very similar.
That's why I want Marceau.
Yeah, I mean, either or. I think it's a coin flip. I mean,
who's your best pitcher today? Like, available to you right now today. Like, if you have to go win a game today, who are you giving the ball to?
If you go back and look at what's happened the last month, it's Landon Marceau.
But that's exactly the point. It's given all the context and all the information you have today.
If Cole Henry's healthy and feeling good and commanding the zone, like, I'm giving it to Cole Henry. And we don't know that. I mean, AD and Paul know that. We don't know where Henry is with his health and all that stuff, though. I mean, if he exits that game in the SEC tournament feeling great, and he's had a couple bullpens since then and just been super sharp, then he's back, and that's the guy that gets the ball.
How big of a difference, though, is there and I'm with you on all that. And, of course, the coaches are going to have more information than we do, but how much of that has to do with or how much that matters based on what you've actually seen in game experience, and but like how translatable is it? Okay, he had a great bullpen, fantastic. I saw him pitch in the SEC tournament against live hitting, and he gave up 5 runs in 2 innings. I'm with you. He was throwing 95. His stuff looked really good. The off-speed stuff was there as well. I thought he commanded. He had some bad luck. I mean, that Tapper, he had errors. I mean, I'm with you. His stuff was way better than the numbers reflected. But we also haven't seen him be the guy he was in February and March and parts of April. We haven't seen that in 6 weeks.
Yeah. I just remember the Marceau of old as well. I mean, either one of them has been – Marceau's been kind of up and down, really up and down. And Henry, like you said, has been on the shelf. So I don't know that you go wrong either one of those guys. I think we can both agree that Eric Walker's probably the guy for game 1. But I wouldn't be shocked to see one of the other dudes go out there and start.
I do agree with you that Paul sometimes does things in an unconventional manner, but I think.
I mean, Henry's got the most like closing experience, meaning clinching game, Omaha, regional SEC tournament type experience. If you look back, Walker Walker.
Walker, yeah. I know what you mean.
Does. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is there some validity there? Do I want to give the ball to the guy that's been in this situation, you know? And
Walker
so maybe you hold back.
But 2 years ago as a freshman, Walker did pitch game 1 of the regional. So, I mean, he's been in that situation before.
Mm-hmm.
The other odd thing is why they're playing the night game. Normally, Maneri likes to play the first game because you know the start time. You know, there's a chance if you play game 2, weather could affect it. A game could go long. If you lose, you have to turn around and play the next morning. Like, normally, Paul likes to have teams from, like, the Northeast who come into Louisiana have to play in June outside at noon. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the heat. So, it's a little odd that they switched that up this year, but they're going to play the night game. The second game on Friday.
It's going to be packed. I mean, it'll be a little bit more rowdy, I think, in the evenings.
That's the benefit, I think, for sure. What about some of the potential pitfalls for this LSU team? What could potentially – what's a potential hole for this team in postseason play?
Well, you've seen the offense kind of be up and down. You know, swing the bats much, much, much better as of late, I think, from a whole. You know, you got to pat Brant Broussard on the back for the effort that he put out in the SEC tournament. Saul Garza is obviously as hot as any hitter in the country right now. And so you've got a few guys swing the bat well, but the flip side of that is, you know, offensively, you've got some guys that are underachieving, you know. And so I could see the offense maybe being that kind of question mark for me. The defense is solidified a little bit, I think, with the infield. You're able to move a versatile Chris Reed around. Play him at third some, play him at first some, and so that's helped. The one thing that having Garza's batting in the lineup for me, and I'm going to get to the pitfalls in a second, but the one thing that I like that is now we have some consistency in the middle of the defense, meaning you've got your catcher that you know is going to be the catcher, your shortstop, you know, second base with Brant swinging the bat well. I think he plays second for me, and then obviously center field. So there's some. That has solidified a little bit, and that works wonders for a defense. When guys show up at the yard and know where they're going to be and can kind of mentally prepare for that, I think that's a positive. As far as the pitfalls go, you know, a couple things. You know, the back end of the bullpen, I think, is a very strong point depending on how you use Zach Hess. If it gets in a situation to where he's going to be burned early and it looks like he's going to be extended maybe in the first or second game, then that could be a potential pitfall, the back end. You know, and then, like I said, offensively, you've just got some guys that have been up and down, you know, all season.
You know what Garza's hitting now?
He's right at 300, like 290, right?
290.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that good? And great, man. Like I saw the Advocate had an article, and he had a quote in it. I stopped trying to yank homers. I think you sent it to me. Of course you stopped trying to yank homers. Like why would you ever have tried to yank homers? I mean, you just see, man, you see how that helps the swing. And I mean, screaming from the mountaintops all year long. Like when you watch MLB Network and you watch Alex Bregman, who I'd like to touch on in a little while, hit all these home runs, and they're all to the pull side. What you don't see is the preparation in order to get there. You don't see the cage work and where everything is opposite field and you're staying inside the ball and you're letting the ball travel and it's getting deep and you're getting jammed in some scenarios. And then and that allows you to hit the breaking ball. It allows you to back the ball up. And then once you're able to handle the breaking ball, your confidence goes through the roof. And look, hitting is 90% mental. If you get in that box and feel sexy, that thing gets rolling and it's like there ain't nobody that can get me out today. It does not matter who is on that mound, and you're seeing that with Garza. Not to mention he's a big donkey, man. I mean, he's just an imposing force when he gets up there. We saw it with Brant Broussard, too. And this is a guy, I love Brant Broussard. To have him on the field helps this team tremendously. He can really, really run. He knows the game. You know, and his confidence is through the roof. We get one more guy going, and that guy's Daniel Cabrera. You get him confident swinging the bat like he's able to, and this is a great offense, man. This is a team that can make a run.
Speaking of sexy, told you I had a surprise for you.
Okay. What you got?
So today, and I have to credit a listener because I did not hear this live, but a listener messaged me on Facebook and said he was listening to the Dan Le Batard show on ESPN Radio and that they were talking about Hall of Fame, fantasy Hall of Fame players and cutest players.
Cute?
Cute. That was the thing. So, like, you're not going to be a Hall of Famer. You're not going to be a pro baseball Hall of Famer.
Are you talking like me?
Hold
like,
on. No. He's like,
Oh.
the whole premise is, you're not going to be a pro baseball Hall of Famer, but you're going to be a fantasy. You could be a fantasy baseball Hall of Famer. So they were looking at guys that are fantasy baseball Hall of Famers and players that are just cute. So here, I'll pick up with that context. They were talking about Marco Scutaro having like the best name and the cute player and all this. Scutaro was the guy they were talking about. And give a listen to this conversation.
Okay. Bichette is fantastic. If I'm a scout out at a random field and I call, Brian Cashman, hey, there's a young outfielder out here. His name is Dante Bichette. I am signing that guy sight unseen. How about that?
Rizzuto.
I was going to say the scooter. It was the scooter, though. There's two scooters, Scutaro and Rizzuto. How about that?
What just happened to you?
Well, you know what? The scooter is Scutaro. I puffered for a second to make sure it was, and somehow I don't know. So things were going through my head like those weird commercials you used to do for the dollar
Wait a
store.
minute. You just backtracked on, you weren't sure it was the scooter? Is that what happened? There was a glitch in the system.
And then there's Scooter Gannett. I mean, these scooters can get confusing sometimes. Dan.
Why and how did the record skip? What happened? Why did the record scratch on?
He's got a dial-up connection. He's working with what he can. Ryan Friel, Ryan Terrio.
Hall of Famers.
Fantasy and cuties.
How about that?
I was cute.
You got a shout out today for being a fantasy Hall of Famer, great name, and a cutie.
Okay, I gotta.
How about that?
That's great. I love that. I have to somehow get in. Who was that? Who said that?
That was Mike Ryan, who's the producer for the Lebitard Show, who threw Ryan Friel, Ryan Terrio, Hall of Famers, and cuties.
And cute.
And cuties.
I wonder what made me cute.
I don't know.
A cutie.
It's definitely not your mullet. And not when you do that awful little patch of hair, the thing right there under your lip, just the one little thing.
What about?
See, right now you've got
What do you think about this?
that's way better
Is
than
it?
just the one little. And you got some salt and pepper going on right there too.
Is that sexy or is that cute?
Well,
does that give me edge?
I'm probably not the one to be asking what gives anybody edge.
I'm starting to
but
embrace it.
When it comes to facial hair, that's like the one thing I have on you.
Yeah.
You know what? Like physically, that's the one thing I got. That's it. I mean, I don't shave for a couple of days, and it's like I'm Paul Bunyan out there. You know what I mean? So the body hair stuff I got.
Could you say that this may be my best look if I have one?
Turn to the side, other side. Okay. Yeah.
Because I want something.
Okay.
I want something like
that for sure. Don't ever go with the little skinny beard.
I can't.
Don't. Well, I know, but even if you just did like that length, like just from here to here. You know what I mean?
The chin strap.
Yeah, don't do that.
I can't.
Okay,
like,
good.
It doesn't.
So this is all you got.
I'll have hairs that will connect, but there's space, so it's not like.
Oh yeah, no good.
Yeah, it's not like it actually ever. It connects. I think what my best attribute is from a facial hair standpoint, and I appreciate the cutie shout out too. By the way, I'm gonna try to get with that guy and thank him.
Mike Ryan.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Lebitard Show.
I think my best facial hair attribute is probably just my mustache. No, like it's full.
Oh, I see what
That's
you're
what I'm saying.
You're
like,
right. You don't even have the little space right there and the little cleft. Yeah.
It wasn't always like this. So at one point in the middle was just bare, and I had the little Frenchman thing. It was very thin.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, it's gotten bigger and a little thicker. And
gotten bigger and thicker as you've gotten older?
And I kind of like it. And Jonna likes it.
Of course she would.
Because it's gotten
It's
bigger and thicker as I've gotten older.
I mean,
so
you start with one perspective, and as you get bigger, get older, it gets bigger and thicker, and it's it's just getting better with age.
It was thin at one point.
Your mustache, it's like a fine wine. It's bigger and thicker.
At one point, it was very thin and skinny, and as I've gotten older, it's gotten bigger and thicker.
It's incredible.
I know.
Congrats.
So I may go with it. I may go just stash.
If you figure out whatever has caused that, if there's maybe you drank some sort of herbal tea and that's what's allowed it to get bigger and thicker, please share that with us. All of us, disclose that for us.
My dad's is bigger and thicker.
How do you know?
Does
he wear it?
I've seen it.
His mustache. Does he wear it? He wears a mustache.
He does.
You've seen it.
Yeah, it's weird, man, and it's hereditary.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? It is like you got what you got. There's not a whole lot you can do with it. It's just weird. Maybe the Terrio men, as they get older, it gets bigger and thicker. It's weird. Shout out to Randy Terrio. Appreciate it, bro. You hooked me up. The big, thick mustache.
It's not a big, thick mustache. But it's better than your unimposing stubble there. I see you're covering up your chin.
What does that look like?
Regretfully, there are still people watching this right now.
I don't think that's terrible.
You're holding your hand over your chin. John DeRoche, who's watching, said dipping and drinking coffee is a mad skill. You want to inform them that you're not drinking coffee?
Yeah, I'm not drinking coffee.
Yeah, this is what he has done now for as long as he and I have been on air together. Whatever cup, bottle, anything that he has there that you think he's drinking out of, that's his spit cup. And even when he has a straw, he's spitting down the straw. You think he's sucking the straw, but he's not. He's spitting his dip down the straw.
That works when it's a colored straw.
And I'm a little disappointed, though, because you told me a couple of weeks ago that you were chewing gum because you're trying to stop dipping, and here you're dipping again.
Yeah. That's part of it. It's a process.
What's the process?
The quitting thing. It's a process. Can't just happen overnight.
Why not?
Then you have a relapse. And you just dip for 24 hours straight.
Okay. Well, your relapse can do this.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Terrio.
Kick rock.
Kick
I
rocks.
have one more thing I have to ask
NBA
you
can kick
about
rocks
baseball.
because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Terrio actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
The Chicago White Sox, like every other major league team does, before every game, has a ceremonial first pitch. They're so nice to their employees. When there's not a big name, they let the employee of the month, so once a month, gets to throw out the first pitch. Now, I have searched high and low, and I can't find this lady's name, but I did see this, and I thought it was amazing. The camera guy gets close to take the picture, but he's not in the line of fire because he doesn't want to get hit with the ball. So he's 6 to 10 feet to the left or right of the lady throwing the first pitch.
Yeah.
Matt, she literally went through her windup and smoked the camera guy who was 10 feet away from her on the left.
Saw that.
Right in the face.
Saw that.
And that lady's throwing ability and the Chicago White Sox, for not making sure that she could throw properly, can kick rocks.
Okay. She's kind of cute, though.
Kevin Durant can kick rocks. You're supposed to be the best player on the planet. You bounce from Oklahoma City, where you guys had a good thing going, could probably have attracted another big-name free agent, and you would be in the discussion, maybe have a ring or two at this point.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
And you sell out and you go to the Evil Empire.
Yeah, maybe.
Which I don't think now is the Evil Empire. I actually think they're better without him. And now he's faking an injury.
Let's not go there. Come on.
Faking the injury. It's not as bad as we think it is. Because he doesn't want people to think that he's quitting on his team, which he is. And he's going to go to another team next year and chase the ring again. And I hope he never wins a title. I hope.
Well, he's already won, too.
And he didn't win that.
Oh, you're right.
I don't count
agree.
those.
Yeah, I agree.
Those
They're not
weren't his.
They're not his. You're right.
Those were Draymond Green's and Steph Curry's and Klay Thompson and Steve Kerr. And what's the guy's name? Iguodala?
Andre Iguodala.
I love that guy.
Who was the Finals MVP in their first title?
He's a guy. A real dude. Kevin Durant can kick rocks. I'm off you, bro.
I mean, he was also the Finals MVP each of the last 2 years. So, I mean, I'm with you. He jumped aboard with him, but he was also the Finals MVP. Twice.
He can still kick rocks.
Okay. Can I do one?
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
No.
The town, or not even the town. I don't know what technically the town is. The exit for Spanish Fort and Daphne in Alabama. That can kick rocks.
I'm familiar with that.
Tell you what happened.
Okay. You and your traffic stuff, too, by the way. Now, listen, you don't get pissed. Because generally when you talk traffic, you get red, and can we just...
Well, it's not even just that. There weren't many rude people or anything like that. There were some. I mean, in the traffic at that exit was absurd. But here's the problem I got, okay? We get through Mobile. We're heading east, right, to Florida. We get through Mobile. we got 4 cars. The whole family's going. Each family's in a different car. So we're all trying to coordinate. We're up front talking to my brother-in-law, Jeff, of Ascension Fence and Deck, by the way. Shout out. And I'm like, hey, look, I think we're going to stop soon, okay? And so hang up with him. Literally the next exit is the Spanish Fort Daphne exit. They got Chick-fil-A. I'm like, hell yeah.
Let's get some Chick-fil-A.
Let's go get Chick-fil-A. We get off the exit. There's no sign at this exit for the Chick-fil-A. Like, you get off the exit, it's you're 0.2 left or 0.5 right.
How'd you know there was a Chick-fil-A there?
Well, because on the blue sign, like a mile back, it said, at this exit. So you saw there was one at the exit. But when you get off the exit, there's another one. It tells you which direction to turn, right? You're familiar.
I'm familiar.
Yes? Okay. That sign wasn't there. So I had no idea which direction to go to get to the Chick-fil-A. So anyway, sorry about that. So that's a problem, number one. No sign. So I go right, realize, no, it's back that way. And the other thing is they didn't have the big tall signs. They only had street-level signs. So it's not like you can look up in the sky and see where's the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you're lost at this point.
So I go right. It's obviously not that way. There's like 2 things and then some wooded area. It's not there. There's like a mall the other way. A big development. I'm like, it's got to be over there.
Has to be.
So I have to turn around. And the traffic's terrible at this point. It's noon.
Is everybody following you?
I'm not done. Erica starts to try to text him. Text won't go through.
Of course not.
She counted 17 times she tried to text the family. None of the texts would go through. Tried to call. No service. Not one bar. No service. We get to the Chick-fil-A. The line's absurd because that's what happens at Chick-fil-A. But their food's really good. And they keep you moving pretty. It's good. They do a good job. So anyway, we get our food. We get back on the road. And we're driving. And about a couple minutes later, as we get back on, we're on the road. Ding, 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 ding. The family they thought we had, I don't know, maybe like gone into a ditch or something. We had been kidnapped by pirates. Who knows?
Aliens.
We hadn't been contacted in 40 minutes now. Like, we said we're about to stop and get food, but the exit of Spanish Fort and Daphne, you can kick rocks because, number one, your signage sucks.
Yep.
Number 2, improve some freaking Wi-Fi over here. Are you kidding me?
It's 2019.
It's 2019. How is it that I have AT&T and I'm at this exit, which has a lot of people, and apparently your cell towers are overwhelmed by the number of people that I have no service at all in this place with a lot of stuff? That's a problem.
Where was the family?
They kept going.
They kept going.
So
they beat you guys there.
Finally, no, we ended up beating them because they ultimately ended up stopping as well.
And then you took the lead again.
We took the lead again.
See, that's my mind the whole time was, oh my gosh, you lost your first spot. That's important. Like, you need that first. I don't want anybody to be able to control my speed.
Yep.
Like, in that scenario. If I want to go, I don't want Pawpaw in front of me going 65.
No, see, the thing about Pawpaw, Erica's dad, is he's going 95.
Perfect. Okay, so he may be the guy.
He's the guy.
Yeah, you go ahead and go.
And I don't abide by those rules of like, let's all get in line and I just if I have an avenue to pass, I'm gone. If it opens up and I'm going.
Yeah.
If we all got cell phones, we'll see. I'll see you. This ain't 1985 where you got to follow the first car so you know where you're going. You know what I mean?
They got Waze and maps and all that stuff.
What's the problem? We all know where we're going. I-10 East. Make it happen. Nice kick rock. By the way, shout out to Ascension Fence and Deck.
Yeah.
Ascension Fence. You needed. By the way, Lenny Moss, my neighbor across the street, just messaged on Facebook that he's watching. He's like, they're at my house building a fence right now. I saw Jeff this morning over there. They're building a fence. There's like 3 properties all in this corner, building fences for all of them right there. It's awesome. So they can build your fence, your deck, your outdoor kitchen, all that stuff. Concrete, plaster your pool, whatever you need. But they also have Ascension Fence and Deck Supply. So if you are a contractor, here's what I would recommend you do, man. Give them a shout. Let them shop for you to see if they can find you the materials, be it lumber or nails, screws, fasteners, anything you're using. Let them see if they can find it for you at a cheaper price. Improve your margins. They also have processes in place to help with your opportunity costs. Instead of like so let's say your guy's on a job, your worker's on a job, and then they run out of nails. Well, now they got to go run to Home Depot. How long do you think that's taking?
I mean, you're looking at least an hour. They're going to stop, get something to eat.
Yeah.
Probably hour 15, hour and 30.
Opportunity costs, crushing you. You're paying those guys. And then you got to go overpay to get something at the box store. Don't do that. Call Ascension Fence and Deck Supply.
Ascension Fence and Deck.
Yeah, I've been gone for 5 days.
I love it.
Ascension Fence and Deck. 268-9459. 268-9459 for Ascension. They're on Facebook as well. Got a website also. Ascension Fence and Deck Supply. If you're a contractor, you better call them. If you're a contractor or you know a contractor, and that's like a family member, and like you don't,
don't call.
This is your duty to let them know this exists.
That's true.
Because you're potentially losing them money by not telling them this exists.
This is not a nice thing to do.
So you call them at Ascension Fence and Deck Supply.
What you do, and it's real easy, and I'll lay this out for the people, is you call Jeff. Because I need an outdoor kitchen.
Okay. So
I'm going to call Jeff. And then I'm going to get him to build that outdoor kitchen for me.
Okay.
Because he's a guy.
He is.
And my fence is getting older.
Yeah.
Because it's just is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm doing all that, Matt, because I'm getting ready to sell my house.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Oh.
So
who's going to sell it for you?
So this is how you bring this whole thing together.
Surely you're going to call a licensed realtor.
If you don't call John Ontario to sell your house, you're basically doing the same thing that you would be doing to your friends if you didn't call Jeff. The marketing plan that's in place from my man DJ and all the guys at Darren James Realty that he has given Jonna to sell your home is second to none if you're selling. And I'll take it a step further. I'll even talk about it on the radio. You want to talk about listeners that can move your home?
About it.
You got a new fence? You got a new outdoor kitchen? And then we'll put it out there for the world to see and the world to hear. If you're buying a house, nobody's going to work harder. Call John Ontario, 225-978-6348, and she's my bride.
You better do that.
That's right.
All right. 2 more things. 1, and then we'll get to Ask Us. And by the way, the surface crapped out again, so I can't see anybody's comments. So I know people are commenting, but I apologize. I can't see your comments. So maybe we won't do Ask Us because I can't see anybody's questions. So sorry about that.
Well, Todd says, how does Ryan feel about LSU's chances this weekend?
I'm not ready for Todd's question. Hold on. Hey, Todd, I'm not ready for you.
Hold on. And then Shane, let me tell you what Shane said. He said they don't talk baseball here, Todd. Hey, Shane, shut up.
Where were you for the first 30 minutes of this podcast, Shane?
Shut up, Shane.
Jerk. Shane? What kind of name is Shane anyway?
Seriously.
Shane. So, do you like the fact that they're paired with Georgia's regional? The Baton Rouge and Athens regionals are paired with each other.
I do. I love it. And I've heard a lot of people talking about it being difficult, and it is. I mean, if you look at on paper, it's probably not the most ideal. But man, like when you're familiar with a team and when you understand kind of what they're going to be throwing at you, especially in this tournament, and I look at this whole thing as a tournament. It's just a big national tournament, and then you get to Omaha, and then it's the best of the best.
That's how you look at it?
That's how I look at it.
That it's a big national tournament?
When you're familiar with these guys?
That's just your opinion.
Well, I don't break it up like in the regions.
That's just like your opinion, man.
I don't break it up in the regions. Like I look at it kind of as the whole, right? When you're familiar with the guys.
It's a big national tournament.
Oh, shut up. Okay, it is a big national tournament. And that's how everybody looks at it. That was probably stupid.
Probably. Okay, so
the familiarity. Say it.
Familiarity.
The familiarity.
There you go.
Of the two teams in the Super, assuming LSU gets out of this regional, which I think they will, I think plays very good for LSU. We saw it happen in the SEC tournament when they had to play Mississippi State a second time. Now, I know Mississippi State didn't have anything to gain in that game, but LSU knew what was coming. They were prepared. It gives the coaches the ability to really game plan. It gives the hitting coaches, the pitching coaches, you can give the guys, something to be looking for. It sucks, man, to have to go in. And we played UCLA to get to Omaha in 2000. UCLA came to Baton Rouge. They had some really good players. And we knew they were good players, but you really don't know who they are and what they're going to do. The video is different than what it looks like in person. So I think that plays well for LSU. I think it gives them some confidence going in, knowing what they're up against.
Say the same for Georgia?
Yeah, but LSU's got the underdog thing going, man, and they're not supposed to get out of that Super. Georgia's loaded, and so I think it's advantage LSU, man. I really do. And those guys have been there.
There's
traditions there.
no way going on the road to Georgia with Emerson Hancock and C.J. Smith and Cole. I know.
Like when they named him Emerson Hancock.
Right, I get it.
Do you think their parents laughed a little bit when they were like, let's name him Emerson? The dad was like, yeah, it's going to be great.
You're so stupid.
He's a Sigma Chi for sure. Drives a Jaguar.
All right.
He wears Sperry's.
Cole Henry.
And he's got the little sunglass thing. Like,
I'm going to tell you, the lanyard, yeah.
He does
So listen.
Vineyard vines. Like he does all that.
When LSU went to Athens, Cole Henry went 7 1/3, 2 runs, 2 hits, 8 punchies, 1 walk. Lost.
They got some guys on the other team too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not even their best pitcher that he lost to.
This is a different offense today than it was then.
That's true.
It's
and Zach Hess beat Emerson Hancock 1-0 in game 1.
Yeah, do you consider maybe starting Zach Hess?
I would have never taken him out of the rotation if you're asking me, but it's pretty clear what path they're going down at this point. We got to wrap this up.
Okay.
Do you think LSU wins a regional?
Yes.
I do too. And if that is in fact the case, then next Tuesday when we're sitting here, we'll discuss Super Regional. And I hope we're not doing a postmortem on the season. We're previewing a Super Regional.
Me too.
You want to do 60 seconds on Alex Bregman?
I'd love to. I mean, he's going to hit 50. Like he hit his, for those of you who don't know, he had 2 homers last night. So that puts him at 17 on the year. We're still a month and a half away from the All-Star break. It doesn't look like he's slowing down. He's only getting stronger. I mean, I'm amazed at what this guy's done. And it's been a gradual growth. You know, it's not like overnight. You know, you started to see in the minor leagues right after he was drafted, hit a few more homers. And then the next year, hit a few more homers. And the next year, hit a few more homers. And I mean, to say a guy's on pace to hit 50, like that's a big number, man. That's a real big number. Now, granted, the balls are much harder and all that stuff. They've made some changes. But still, man, I'm fired up for Breggs, and you can see how a hitter is better in the major leagues than he was, more productive in the major leagues than he was in college is really cool.
That's going to do it for us. Riot Podcast, thanks to Paul O'Neill. If you're watching us on Facebook, please hit the share button. That is a massive help as we continue to grow this thing. We appreciate y'all. Until next week, see ya.